So I want to talk about gold again today. And I've been trading gold all week, GLD, ticker GLD. I actually uploaded a video yesterday showing how I made some money swing trading some gold on my small account. And today I day traded gold on a small account and made some more good money. And I actually used my favorite day trading setup, literally my number one strategy for finding day trades, for finding scalps. And it makes it really simple. And I'm going to share it with you guys. So like I said, I did talk about a GLD swing yesterday, so you guys should go watch that video if you haven't. But this one is for swings, right? So I'm already looking at gold coming into the day just because, like I showed in yesterday's video, there's been hundreds of millions of dollars coming into gold calls that we've seen on CapitalFlow, and that didn't change today. There's still a lot of money coming into GLD calls. So I'm already watching GLD as soon as the market opens today, right? And this is what I see on CapitalFlow as I'm watching GLD, right? And this is within the first 30 minutes of the market being open. So you can see automatically there's a lot of bullish orders. You can see a lot of green. There are a couple call sells in there. But that's fine because I'm focused on the repeat flow, which is obviously majority bullish. Most importantly, there's a lot of call buying coming in right at the ask. And that's what I'm really interested in, right? And it's for large amounts of money. So those first two call buys near the bottom, 935, 937, about $250,000 each. Going up, you can see there's $100,000, $400,000 in calls, 500,000, 374,000, right? And like I said, this is within the first 30 minutes of the day. So I'm already interested in gold. I've already identified some repeat flow, and this is where I know I have a good day trade setup, right? Because something that I talk about often is combining bullish flow with breakouts of resistance, right? So if you can identify a repeat bullish flow like we've done this morning with GLD, the next thing I want to do is identify whether the stock is in an uptrend or in a downtrend, right? And if we're in an uptrend, then I look for a break of the nearest resistance level. If we're in a downtrend, then I look for a bounce off of the nearest support level. And in this case, we had an upside breakout. So I identified that gold had very clear resistance here, right? Right at this 381.45 level. You can see pre-market, right? There's some pre-market resistance here, some after hours resistance here on GLD. We had three touches, multiple rejections, right? So as I'm seeing this large call flow start to come in the morning, I'm saying, okay, I'm going to look for a breakout above this 381.45 level, right? That's what I'm looking at. And then I say, okay, that's going to be my entry for calls. So you can see we got a nice breakout candle right at 1010, right? We got a huge breakout candle, and this was the exact moment that I entered my GLD calls. So literally on this breakout candle, I took some 383 calls, and I followed the same expiration that I was seeing on CapitalFlow, which was majority 1117 expiration. Also want to point out that a lot of the orders we were seeing on CapitalFlow on the call buying side this morning were out of the money calls. There were some 381 calls. There was some 385 calls. There were even a couple 383 calls, which is what I actually ended up getting in myself. So we were able to get a really solid entry on gold on this breakout. Like I said, combining the flow with the break of resistance, right? So that's going to be my favorite day trading strategy, my favorite scalp strategy. And it is important to wait for that break of resistance because sometimes you might see a lot of chop before that. You might try to get in early. And if you don't have a large account, which I was using the small account earlier today, like I said, you might end up getting chopped and you might hit your stop loss. So that's why I like to wait on that breakout. And then even beyond that, right? GLD calls have still been coming in by the hundreds of millions this week, right? So just looking at capital flow, right, with GLD filtered to 1 million plus, you can see there's still crazy money coming into GLD for the week, right? This is from a little bit after 11 this morning, right? There's 34 million in GLD calls being bought, 54 million in calls being bought above the ask right here, right? Another 68 million above the ask. 100 million. So, I mean, there's extremely large, extremely aggressive orders coming in for GLD. Personally, I don't even trade gold that often, but this is too much flow to ignore, right? When you're seeing hundreds of millions of dollars being bought in calls that come in above the ask, and mind you, these are out the money calls as well, 400, 405, 415. this is the result that you get, right? Like I said, we've been trading gold all week. I'm not even a big GLD guy, but when you see this kind of flow, these are the things that I'm personally going to be all over, right? Like I said, we're swinging gold, we're day trading gold, and this is all just off flow. This is all just off capital flow. This is some of the easiest money you'll ever make simply by following the big money and combining it with charts, right? Combining it with some support and resistance so you can time your entries and you can make some good money. So I've been talking about gold all week. Can't stop talking about it. I made some short videos. This is a bit of a longer video that I'm making. I made some tweets, but I just kind of got to show you guys that this is my favorite strategy and got to show you guys exactly why it's my favorite strategy. So like I said, the gold calls are still coming in, so we might still have some room to the upside. I could see GLD going back to the 400s, right, within the next week or so. If this momentum continues. That's definitely possible. So that's something that I'm going to continue watching. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely check out Capital Flow if you haven't. There's a 7-day free trial right now. I'm going to put the link in the comments and the replies in the description because I'm going to post this video everywhere. But yeah, start your 7-day free trial to Capital Flow because if you're not using this tool, you're seriously missing out on some of the easiest money that you'll ever make in the market.